welcome to another exciting episode of Howard's Opinion. I'm your host, Howard, and I'm thrilled to have you all tuning in today. We've got a fantastic show lined up for you, packed with in-depth analysis and expert opinions on the latest sports news. To kick things off, let's dive into some fascinating stories from the world of football. You know, it's not just about the superstars and household names that make the headline. Sometimes it's the unsung heroes, the low-key players who fly under the radar, that can make all the difference in a team's success. Take Najee Harris, for example. The Steelers' running back has been making waves with his impressive performances. But today, I want to talk about some other players who might not be getting the same level of attention. Guys like Kenny Pickett, the Steelers' quarterback who's been quietly putting together a solid season. Or how about Fenton Porter, the young wide receiver who's been turning heads with his speed and agility. But what really caught my eye this week was an article highlighting some of the most underappreciated players in the league. You've got guys like Tart, the Chargers' defensive tackle who's been a mauler in the middle for years, but still doesn't get the recognition he deserves. And then there's Diamador Lenoir, the 49-year slot defender who's become one of the best in the business, with the versatility to play both inside and outside. These are the kinds of players who can be the difference makers for their teams. They might not be the flashy, big-name stars, but they're the ones who consistently show up, put in the work, and get the job done. And that's what I love about football. It's a team sport where everyone has a role to play and every player can make an impact. We'll be exploring more of these under-the-radar stories throughout the show today, so stay tuned for some fantastic insights and analysis. We'll also be discussing the latest news from around the league, including updates on injuries, trades, and other developments that could shape the season ahead. So sit back, relax, and get ready to dive into the world of sports with me. We've got a lot to cover, and I'm excited to share my opinions with you all. We'll be right back with more fascinating sports news on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion, folks. We're diving into the world of sports now, and I've got some exciting updates for you. The NBA has been making waves with its plans for the future, and Commissioner Adam Silver has been at the forefront of it all. From potential expansion teams to a new league in Europe, the possibilities are endless. Let's start with the 2026 NBA All-Star Game. Silver has announced that the event will be getting a major overhaul, with a focus on nationalism and international competition. The game will now take place in the afternoon, and it sounds like they're taking a page out of the NAL's book with their four nations face-off format. I'm intrigued to see how this will play out and whether it'll bring some much-needed excitement back to the All-Star Game. But that's not all. Silver also touched on the topic of expansion teams and the potential for a new league in Europe. With the NBA's growing global presence, it's no surprise that they're looking to capitalize on their popularity overseas. And with the rise of streaming services, it's likely that we'll see more team-specific deals and localized content in the future. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, what about the current state of the NBA? With the decline of traditional television and the shift towards streaming, there are certainly challenges ahead. But Silver seems confident that the league will adapt and thrive, and I tend to agree with him. The value of live sports is undeniable, and the NBA has some of the most passionate and dedicated fans out there. So, what do you think about the NBA's plans for the future? Do you like the sound of a more nationalistic All-Star Game? Or are you skeptical about the whole thing? Let us know on social media using the hashtag #HowardsOpinion. We'd love to hear your thoughts and get the conversation started. And that's all for this segment, folks. Stay tuned for our final story of the day right here on Howard's Opinion. Welcome back to Howard's Opinion. We're closing out today's show with a fascinating story that combines sports, history, and a dash of excitement. As we've been exploring various topics throughout our discussion, it's only fitting that we dive into the world of college baseball for our final segment. For those who might not be familiar, The NCAA Super Regionals are a significant part of the college baseball postseason. It's where the best teams face off in a winner-take-all format, vying for a spot in the College World Series. Today, we're focusing on the Auburn Tigers, who are hosting their first-ever Super Regional against Coastal Carolina. This matchup is not just about two great teams going head-to-head. It also marks a historic moment for Auburn baseball. Hosting a Super Regional is a testament to the team's hard work and dedication. Butch Thompson, Auburn's head coach, emphasized the importance of consistency in his team's approach, stating, "I don't want us to change. We have an identity. This is who we are." This mindset is crucial as they face off against Coastal Carolina, which has been on a remarkable 21-game winning streak. The game, broadcast on ESPN2 and available for streaming on Fubo, promises to be a thrilling encounter. With RHP Samuel Dutton starting for Auburn and ARHP Cameron Fluke taking the mound for Coastal Carolina, fans are in for a treat. The projected lineup for Auburn shows a strong roster, with players like Chase Fralick, Cooper McMurray, and Ike Irish expected to make significant contributions. As we wrap up this story, it's clear that both teams have what it takes to advance to the next round. However, only time will tell which team will emerge victorious. Whether you're an Auburn fan, a college baseball enthusiast, or just someone who loves underdog stories, this Super Regional is definitely worth keeping an eye on. That's all for today's Howard's Opinion. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, these are some of my humble thoughts.